Hi everybody, this is Abby with Scrappin' Abby, and I am excited to get to play with some of my Cocoa Daisy goodies that I received for free when I signed up to their Kit of the Month subscription for 6 months. That was an early Christmas present for my hubby. So these are just a few of the items that I pulled out of my box of stuff. If you guys want to see exactly what I got, you can do a search back. Oh gosh, might have been before Thanksgiving or right after Thanksgiving. I did a video of just called Cocoa Daisy, I believe. Anyway, so these are just some of the things I wanted to pull out and just work on a layout. And the picture I chose to use is one of my beautiful daughter. As you guys can tell from the date, this is from school year 2009-10. So this is an older picture. This is when she was still in grade school. This is what she looks like now. She's now 14. She's taller than I am, and that's what she looks like now compared to what she looked like before. But I wanted to kind of start working on some of the older pictures that I have left over from the, the Life Touch school pictures that you always get. So I wanted to start working on using these in some different collages and things like that. So that's why I chose to use this one, because the papers I pulled out from my Cocoa Daisy goodie box that I received, the papers happen to match her shirt and the background and the pinks and kind of the purplies in her shirt, which are kind of in this background paper here. So I kind of want to do this a video just to share with you guys the inspiration point for me, which is a photo of my daughter Kaylee, and then the different selections I'm going to be using. So I'll be adding things to this, of course, as the creative process goes along. I might pull things out, I might add things in, but the goal is to use about 95% of my Cocoa Daisy stuff on this layout. So just to share with you real quickly, this is some of the washi tape. There, I said it, that I received in my box. There's just this bag of mixed alphas. I think I might spell her name possibly. This is the stamp that they sent me for joining the Kit of the Month. So this is really cool. It's like a fractured heart stamp. Here's some twine. Isn't this really pretty? I think it's like a cocoa brown and white. And it's really cute. It's like a playing card size wood embellishment, and it's like the chevron print. This love clip. Very cute. And then this is from Fancy Pants. This is some of their resin flowers. Use a few of those on there. And then from My Mind's Eye, I might use a couple of the different stickers, maybe the date one or what's happening, something like that. Here's just a strip of like some shoestring. It's like this really, really pretty kind of butter yellow color. It's very cute. And then the papers I'm going to use from my box, this is from My Mind's Eye. I'm going to use bits of this yellow, I think. This backside has some hashtag, maybe that, I'm not sure. White, and then some green. These are just like basil paper. And then this back one here is the one that's going to be the focus, at least the background of the whole layout, which is just really fun. This is also from Jen Allison from My Mind's Eye. And it's just got, being my daughter's 14, she does that whole hashtag, type of LOL, all that kind of stuff. So I thought this would be appropriate for her, even though the pictures when she's in, I think she was in 4th grade there. 5th grade. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's still kind of her thing. So I'm going to use that. I have a plan to use a couple different dies, some Tim Holtz dies. I'm not sure exactly which ones yet. I'll kind of pull those out as I'm going along. But this video is basically just to kind of document the initial stages of this layout that I want to work with from My Mind's, or excuse me, well, it's My Mind's Eye papers in different, companies, embellishments and whatnot. But it's things from my Cocoa Daisy goodie box that I received. So I'll be back with the completed layout, unless I remember to turn the camera back on midway and maybe show you guys some different techniques. I plan on doing some different embossing and things like that with some Lindy's Stamp Gang embossing powders and sprays and stuff on the wood piece and some of the letters. So, and then maybe doing like a resist emboss technique on some of that paper as well. So I'll be back. Okay, thought I would just do a quick video just to kind of document a couple different techniques. If you guys are seeing this, I liked how it turned out and it made the cut. If not, you won't ever see this. So what I wanted to do was just kind of experiment with a couple different colors of the Lindy's different embossing powders and sprays to see if it would kind of coordinate with the layout that I'm working on. This is one of their two-tone embossing powders, and it's in Weeping Willow Green Gold. It's just this really beautiful, soft kind of green. I wanted to see what that looked like in contrast with the paper. So I used one of the stamps that I received, and it says hearts or down my block. This is from the Cocoa Daisy I showed you guys in the first part of the video as part of my welcome package. That's the stamp. I love that kind of fractured kind of heart. It's kind of, very architectural looking. And that's a really pretty green, and I think it goes really well with this. So what my original thought was to, completely cover this with Perfect Medium, emboss it 100% in the embossing powder. But I think what I'm going to do is just do it partial of the embossing powder and then part of it with some sprays. So I have a couple different sprays from Lindy's. The first one is a Starburst. It's the cement green. I use the heck out of it. It's almost gone. And this is the Glitz Spritz, and this is the Cactus Gold. So I'm going to use a little bit of that. And then I'm also going to use some of the Perfect Medium and also use the embossing powder. So it's going to be kind of a mismatched pattern that's going to cover this piece. And if I don't like how it looks, guess what you guys can do? Flip it over, and not drop it, but flip it over, and I can do something on this side if I don't like how that looks. So, you know, it's always creative play, because how do you know if you don't like it if you don't give it a try? So I think I'm also going to probably spritz a little bit on this paper on the background piece here. I have a couple different doilies from Bo Bunny. I'm not sure which size I want to use. Going to, of course, spray them as well, layer them kind of in the background. But what I was going to share in the video with you guys right now, let me get this out of the way, is just how I was going to you know, alter the piece of wood here, and then you know, I'm going to cut this out and use this also somewhere else on the layout. I think it's really cute. I don't want to waste it for sure. Sorry if you guys hear my husband and my daughter watching a movie in the next room over, so apologize for that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and just partially, I'm going to do the spraying first. That way I have the base so it soaks into the wood, and then I'll go ahead and put some Perfect Medium. So it's been a little bit since I've done like an actual live tutorial or kind of how I do something process. I know this isn't earth-shattering news. It's been done 1,000 times before, but I thought I'd go ahead and just kind of document with you guys what I'm doing. So what I have here is just a small box from an order I received a long time ago. I have a bigger one as well when I do layouts and things like that, like, you know, the full-blown canvas projects. So I just layer some different, you know, bits of tissue paper, or not tissue paper, excuse me. For this box, I use paper towels, and then I just keep folding them over and over and use them on a different project, you know, fold them over. And then sometimes you can even take this is really kind of a cool background for another project, so I just kind of do that. And then I'm just going to kind of, you know, randomly spray. I'm going to have a baby wipe ready just in case, let me grab it here, in case I get more of the spray on than I want, then I can wipe it off and not have it be quite so dark. So let me get everything together. All right, let's go. So I'm going to zoom the camera into, oops, sorry guys, didn't mean to bump it. I'm going to zoom it in just a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm working on here. Sorry if there's a bit of a shadow. And, you know, I don't have any real set way I want to do this. I am going to grab a piece of scratch paper. It's actually a piece of card from an order I picked up. Steve, you guys don't have to turn that down. It's fine. Okay. I'm just going to kind of do this because I don't care if it's like an order or anything. Just kind of protect some of it, and we'll spray there. And then maybe a little bit down there. Over here, kind of like that, a little bit dark. Like that. Use a little bit of dots. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop this out. I do sometimes heat this up in the box with my heat tool, but I also have these little boards. I picked these up at Safeway, and they're actually for cheese blocks that you like when you bake cheese, like brie or something. And I bought them because they're perfect to do this kind of stuff. I don't have to, you know, get my craft table all hot or anything like that. So I'm just going to dry this really quickly, and then once this is dry, I'm going to use the Perfect Medium and then kind of do some embossing on the bits of the wood that are not already, you know, covered with the Lindy spray. And I don't know if you guys have ever, this is my first time to use the Cactus Gold, oops, as this is drying, the Cactus Gold Glitz Spritz. I really like this. It gives us such a really cool kind of light green glitter. The Glitz Spritzes are really good for that. I use this on some holiday projects, even some projects that had some blues and kind of creams in it. It looked really, really well with that. So yeah, it's pretty much dry. Kind of let that cool here just for a quick second. I'm going to bring out my embossing stuff. So I'm just going to take my Perfect Medium, and then I'm just going to, you know, I'm going to actually hold this in my hand and do it this way because I just want certain parts of this wood to get the embossing powder on it. And then if you guys have like the embossing pen, which I do, you can kind of go in the center, you know, if you don't want this other part. But I'm just going to press down just because since these are, you know, these pieces are not attached together, they're individual, I can kind of just do a little bit of press and only get certain portions of this wood piece getting into the Perfect Medium. So it works out good for that part. But you know, they do have embossing pens, and I'll show you mine in a second, just in case anybody watching doesn't know about that. And I'm sorry I'm off camera. I'm just trying to make sure I'm getting the areas I want here before I get going. Okay, so I think I'm pretty good. And so now I'm just going to do, and this is another tip, I just use packaging from other orders and stuff. I keep those, and then I use them to use as my papers for when I do embossing like this. So, and it just goes over the top like that. I really, really love all the different Lindy's products. I was able to get in a good on one of their deals after Thanksgiving. They had a really good sale, so I stocked up on quite a bit of stuff. So, not a cool design right there. It's left, and then just really easy peasy cleanup, as everybody on the planet knows. You just fold it and put it right back into your container. So do that, and then I have this paper to use for the rest of my projects, for inking, stamping, you know, for so I don't mess up my pad or whatever, or I can hang on to it and use it next time for you know, more spraying. So I'm going to use my other heat tool. I have the Tim Holtz one right here. I love this one, but I don't like using it for embossing. I think it doesn't get hot enough or something. It takes a really long time. So I have this old school Marvy one that I've had forever, and I like it. So it's a little bit louder, so pardon me just for a quick second. I don't know if anybody else watching the video, if you guys have noticed that or not, if your Tim Holtz heat tool is not, doesn't get as hot, but it just doesn't melt the stuff from me. I've tried it a bunch of times. I'm going to zoom out a little bit because that's probably hard on the eyes there. And I'm going to bring back my layout just so you have something cute to look at, meaning my daughter. And this is what it looks like. Let me get it against a piece of white cardstock here so you guys can see. So this is how it turned out, and I think it looks really cool. I like it. I'm going to add some more of the Cactus Gold. Probably on the edges I'll add some more of the Cement Green, but that's how it turned out. So you can kind of see that shimmer. That's from that embossing powder. And then just, I like the different pops of the darker green. And this, of course, what it looked like before. And that's what it looks like now. So I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to do that really quickly. And then I have off camera, you guys, just for a quick second here. And all I'm going to be doing is spraying a little bit right here, just to kind of give some of the sides a little bit more of an darker accent, just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. So give me just a second here, and I'll show you guys how this is turning out. And it's really cool because this is also kind of resisting off of the emboss piece as well. So that's kind of cool. I like that. And it's going to kind of give it that darker look on top of the spots that I embossed. So it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and let that dry. I'm going to pop the camera back on as soon as I get this dry, and I'll back in just a second. Okay, back with the completed piece of wood here. Let me hold up with a piece of white cardstock so you guys can see a little bit better. This shows you guys all of the different dimensions and, texture I received from using that I obtained from using the different mediums from Lindy's. There's two different sprays and then the embossing. This is just to kind of give you a reference point. This is what it started out as, this color anyway, this wood, and then this is how it turned out, just to kind of give you guys a visual of what it looked like before and after. And you can just really see all the different shimmers and different raised texture on there from the embossing. I love it. I went ahead on the sides and used some peeled paint, Distress ink from Tim Holtz. Just kind of took it, in the pad and did this business just real quick and easy. That way when it's hanging up on the wall, this isn't just bare wood. There's a little bit of color as well, and it's kind of darker to kind of balance out the darker spots on the chevron piece there. So I thought that turned out really, really cute. I like it. So I'm excited to use that on the layout as well. And then also from the cardstock I showed you guys from the stamp, I was going to do some resist embossing with the heart on the block. I'm still going to do that, but I also wanted to test out the Lindy's embossing powder. And so what I did is I tore that out, and I'm going to use this on the layout as well, because this is too cute to toss. I mean, what a waste of products. I don't want to do that. So I will be putting that on there as well. So I'll be back with the completed project, and I think this part's going to make it in the video because I'm happy with how this turned out. So thanks for sticking with me while I showed you guys this portion of how I kind of did that piece, and then I'll be back with the completed layout. See you soon. Okay, I am back with the completed layout, and I'm really pleased with how this turned out. This is a little bit different style than I normally do, just because of the color palette, and then I usually put a lot more texture and stuff on it, but I really wanted to kind of focus mostly on the picture, which is what's important about the layout. So this is the completed layout, and I'll show you guys when I get done exactly what different products I used on it. but you can see there are some things I added that I didn't show because the creative process, and some things that I showed that I didn't use because just kind of changed direction. So what I did along the edge here is I inked it with some Spice Marmalade Distress ink, and I also did that on this larger piece of, or the inner piece of cardstock. And I used some of the Lindy's embossing powders on the chipboard letters that came in the kit. This little, you know, kind of little banner spray, so to speak, I made down here. This is the heart I showed you guys at the very beginning, that when I was testing out that one embossing powder, I went ahead and just used some twine from the Twinery, wrapped around it. This is that little love clip that came in the kit as well. This is some of the trim that came in the kit, and I made a flower, added one of the resin flowers in the center. This of course is that wood chevron piece that I showed you guys earlier, how I came up with those two different colors. And then I have some of the twine that came in the kit itself down here, and here are a couple different colors from crinkle ribbon from 3 Girl Jam. And let's see here, and going across, as you guys can see, is some more twine from the Twinery. This is that doily. I ended up using the smaller of the two that I showed you guys. These are some of the foam thickers that came in the kit as well. This is some of the washi tape I added here, and then along the side of the photo, down here on part of this little banner, and then just over this part of the photo as well. And I kind of wanted to have something to balance this corner up here, so I thought that washi tape worked really well for that. And then down here I dated this September of 2010, and that's the month and the year that my daughter had that picture taken from school. So just, even though it's 2013, almost over, you know, that's why it says that date, 'cause that's when the photo was taken. So let me share with you guys really quickly the different products that I used, just to kind of get that out of the way, and then I'll kind of go over the layout one more time as I'm kind of wrapping up the video. So I used a combination of 5 different Lindy sprays and then 1 Tattered Angel spray. So out of the Lindy's, the ones I showed you guys, actually 4, I didn't end up using that one. The Glit Spritz, again, I used the Cactus Gold, and then I used another Glit Spritz, and this one is the Blazing Sun, and then the Starburst, the Sea Mint Green, and then the last one, which is another Starburst, is the A Bit O Bubble. So I use those 4, and then you'll see kind of the pops of the little darker pink. That's from the Tattered Angels Glimmer Mist, and that's in the Starfish. I don't have any of the Lindy's yet in this color palette, so I used what I had for that. And then again, just the inks, I used the Tim Holtz Spice Marmalade, and then the peeled paint. Those worked really well with the products from Cocoa Daisy from the kit. This is Perfect Medium that I use for the stamping. And then this is that twine from the Twinery that I use. It's the Pink Sorbet. And then this is the trim that came in the kit itself in the goodie box. And you can see the difference. What I did is I sprayed some of that A Bit O Bubbles on there. I'm not sure if you guys can tell the difference in the light or not of how it looked originally and then how it looks after I did the spraying, just to kind of give a little bit of color. I did that. And this again is some of the twine that was in with the goodie box as well. And then this here is some green twine from the Twinery. I don't know the name of this one because it was kind of in a variety bag that I had received. So there's that. And then again, the stamp that I used for the heart down here. I was going to, as I mentioned earlier, kind of do a resist emboss technique on the back. I changed my mind, decided not to. I'm going to do that on a different layout, and then I just wanted to create some texture and different dimension by using just the sprays instead of using the stamp. Here's the washi tape again that was in the kit, the goodie box, and then I used just one of the resin flowers, which is right here in the center, right there. And then these are the 2 different crinkle ribbons that I use from 3 Girl Jam. The first one is Goblin Green, really, really pretty crinkle ribbon. And this one comes from a different bundle. It comes from the pink and white bundle, and this is the cherry lipstick. And that's what this one is. It's the cherry lipstick that goes with that. Very, very pretty, fun colors. And then my daughter's favorite colors as well. And that's, you know, this is a layout about her, and it matches the shirt and everything, so it worked out good. And then you'll notice that the, I don't think I showed this in the beginning, but this also came in the goodie box from Cocoa Daisy. They are some thickers, and they're Dear Lizzie, and they're kind of like in this really pretty soft mint, kind of like, the best way I can describe it is like the Martha Stewart type of mint green. And I didn't want that color, I wanted it to be different so it matched. So I used a combination of a couple different of the Lindy sprays, and you guys can see how it looked, the letters before and how they look now. and they kind of have that really fun shimmer. And when I use my heat tool on them, which you don't have to, you can let them dry, you know, set them to the side when you're working on another part of the project. But I kind of wanted them to shrinky dink a little bit and kind of have that curled edge. It kind of gives it a little bit more texture, and I like that. And it's kind of at an angle, so I think it's kind of a cool look. So that's how it looked before again, and then how it looks after. So that's just something fun you guys can do with your different letters. So even if they don't match 100% with the project you're working on, you can alter these with paint, sprays, all that kind of stuff, because that's just what I did and that's what I've used before. And then on down here on the bottom, the letters, the chipboard letters, I spell her name with a bracket. These again were also in the goodie box. I don't know who the company that made these, but they were in the box as well. And then I used a combination of a few different embossing powders for that. For the heart, I used again the Weeping Willow Green Gold from Lindy Stamp Gang. It's another two-tone. And then on, I used it, and I used on this one here, the actual name, it's Cosmic Pink Blue, another two-tone, very pretty. You wouldn't think by looking at the bottle that it's going to turn out this color. That's what's so fun about the Lindys, because they're just like, it's like magic. It's just really cool how they do that. And then here's some Golden Pumpkin Blush, embossing powder, two-toned as well. And that's also what I used on the bracket here. So you can kind of see the different colors and how it has that different shimmer. I love that. In some spots, I intentionally held the heat tool over it longer, so it kind of bubbled and distressed it a little bit and gave a little bit of texture. So I think that's kind of a fun little look. So those are the embossing powders that I used. And then I think I mentioned to you guys, when I was in the portion where I was showing you how I was, you know, spraying the wood piece element here, that I have that box off to the side and I kind of keep the papers and different things for other projects. Well, when I sprayed the letters, the foam letters for Cute, see what a cute, well, cute, that's funny, what image it left. So I'm going to keep this and use this on a different project, maybe mixed media, on a canvas or something like that. So that's just another little tip, that even though you guys might use this for different sprays and stuff, I mean, look how pretty that is. I mean, I'd hate to throw that away because it's got so much product on there that I use these and they don't seep through. I'll stop on these two, and then this way I have some background for a couple of the projects. So that's just a fun little tip there. And then what I used to make, the two different pennant banners you see down here. On the bottom of the strip of 12 by 12, when you cut it off, the name and everything, I used part of this bit of strip here to make this one. Use some Lindy sprays on that as well. And then on the back side of this chevron kind of pattern paper, I used some of the hashtag, and I made the hashtag, and then I also used some more spritzes just to kind of make it blend in a little bit. And then for the last thing, on the center one here, I used this, this side of the cardstock for the middle one that has the date stamp on it, but this was one of the stickers off of the label sticker sheet. And then again, I just used this little date stamp that I have just to punch in, September of 2010. Use my tiny attacher. You can kind of see the staples poking out, which was intentional. I kind of like that look. Anyway, so there's the project. I didn't mean to go on quite so long. Just wanted to kind of explain everything that I did on this layout and the different products that I use and different techniques. I had a lot of fun using the goodies from the Cocoa Daisy box. This is just a small portion of what I received. And I'm excited to use more and do some different layouts and, and more of the colors and things that I normally craft with. This is more along the lines of, like what my daughter likes and stuff. And so, but I had a lot of fun doing this one. I think it's really fun. Love the different techniques and textures. Oh, and I did use the same sprays on that doily. That's what gets given it that really fun look as well. So just lots of fun. So this can either be put in a mini or an album, not a mini album, but it can be put in an album because I didn't chunk it up too much. This is like way low scale from what I normally do. Or, it could go into a frame, without the glass, obviously. And I think it'd be kind of fun. So there is my layout. So thanks you guys for checking out another Scrappy Nappy project. And this one was just for fun. It's just for my home to hang on my wall. And, just excited to have made this using my Cocoa Daisy box and using some really fun other products that I love. The crinkle ribbon from 3 Girl Jam, Lindy Stamp Gang sprays, and then the Twinery. And just lots of fun. So thanks guys. Happy crafting, and I will see you later.